It's easy to create a quilt label on either the Memory Craft 1000 or our Memory Craft 100E. Let me show you how I do it. I'm going to start in my edit screen, and then once I'm here, I'm going to go down to my home and I'm going to go to my designs first because my label has two little extra designs in it. I want to pick those first, so I'll have them on my screen. One of them is from the tiny floral area, and I'll pick the ladybug and I'll just move that up here. I will be moving that around. Then I'm going to go back in there and pick my other little design. So you can have both lines of text and letters in your hoop at one time. So you can combine many things. I'm going to page over here. This is baby and child designs. I want the little butterfly. I'll move that up to the top. Now I'm going to go back to my home and I'm going to go to my lettering tab and start putting in some normal and border sew designs and then my lines of text. I'm going to open this up, and when you go into your fonts, when you scroll to the bottom of them, you'll find this area right here, border and normal sew. And these are little tiny decorative stitches that you can put on your hoop, and then you can use them just like letters. You can curve them and do all of that. So on the first one, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to page over. I want a little tulip, and that's right here. And I'm going to put in 6 of those. I don't think it'll let me do 7. Oh, it will, but I just want 6. Once I have those in there, I'm going to touch OK. And these are going to be towards the bottom of my hoop. Now I could move them with my cursor here, or I can use the arrow keys at the bottom. I'm going to go back to my home, back to my lettering, and now I'm going to find the little scallop design. And I believe that is in our normal sew. And I'll page through there to find the little scallop right here. And I'll have 4 of those. And OK. And those are going to come down here below those tulips. Now I also want to put this scallop at the top of my edit screen. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to select the scallops. I want to curve them with my lettering art. So I'm going to do a little curving like this, maybe twice, to get a little bend in them. Touch OK. While they're selected, I'm going to go back up in my tools and do a copy paste. It copy pasted it right on top. Now I want to flip it over, so I'm going to use the mirror. And then I want to use the arrow key here to bring that to the top of my screen. This way it stays in alignment in the middle of the work area and also in line with the bottom part of the label. So now it's perfectly aligned. I might have to move my butterfly a little bit or my ladybug. Now I'm going to start putting in the lettering inside here. And this is a quilt label, and I'm going to put it on a summertime quilt. And the name of this quilt is Summertime Fun. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my first bit of text in there. And one of the things I like to do is combine 2 different fonts together to make things a little interesting. Typically, the first letter of each word will be one of the fonts, and the rest of the letters will be a different font. So for my capital letter, I'm going to use the Gallant. And for summertime, I need an uppercase. I want it to be large, and I'm going to pick the S, and then OK. There it is, nice and big. I'm going to put it right over here. I'm going to go back into my lettering. And then the other font I like is Bauhaus. So I'm going to go back and select Bauhaus. And here I want to use the small letters. And I need lowercase. And I'm going to put in not summertime, but summertime without the S. So here we go. Let me get back here to the beginning of that. So I'm putting in all of the letters I need If I would just keep my arrows going in the right direction, there we go. There we go. So I got the rest of summertime, then touch OK. And then I can move this right up here. I'll move my butterfly just a little bit so I can bring that in close. And then I'm going to bring in a capital F in Gallant. Go back to your home. So you can combine different fonts together to create really interesting labels for your quilts. Anytime you want to put anything in letters in your embroidery, you can do that. Here's Gallant. I want the large and the capital, so I'm going to go down here for the F for fun, and OK. Move that kind of right there. Next, I'll go back. I was using Bauhaus for the other part, so let's go get Bauhaus. And I'm going to use small letters for that and lowercase, and I just need 2 letters. Let's go. There we go. And OK. And then I can move that over like this. And then I can, keep moving them around to get them exactly where I like them. I can go up here and use the magnifier so I can see things closer, and maybe I need to move my letters closer or whatever. I can do all of that. The magnifier is very handy to see really close to what I'm doing. Now that I have all my elements in here, I'm missing a couple things. I do want to put in Quilted with Love, Anne Hein, and a date. But because these letters ended up so big, I'm not sure I can do that. So what I'm going to do is replace that letter. And this is good to show that, as you're designing, many times I'll put things in and then decide maybe it doesn't quite fit there. So it's easy because it's not connected to summertime. I can delete just the S, and I'm going to delete the F. And I'm going to go back into my home, go back to Gallant, and I'm going to use the medium. And a capital letter, so I need the S first. So it's fun to put in the letters individually for certain things, and then other parts put them all together. So you have more opportunity for creativity this way. And I need the F now. There we go. And that's medium. It stayed right where it was from the... Now I can move these up here. And I can add my name, and I can put in Quilted with Love down below. So I'm going to move my butterfly again, go back to my lettering, and I'm going to use the Bauhaus for that. And I'll put in lowercase. I'm going to go to the smaller ones and lowercase, and I'll put Quilted. And I need a little space, so I'm going to page over to the space, the narrow one, and then I need width, and another space, and then love. And then OK. And that's going to be the next part right there. Below that, I'm going to put my name, so I can move these pieces down a little bit to get them closer to the bottom. I can move these around a little bit to make room for my name. I did notice these letters going across here, the Quilted with Love. They look a little close together. That's where I would come in here and use my lettering art, the ABC tab, and I could move them apart just slightly so you can see the letters more clearly. Say OK. If you don't touch OK, it goes back to your original. Back to my letters again. And I'm going to put in my name and a space. And then my last name, I need a capital. And then I'm going to put in another space. I could put a big space here. And then I want to put in a date. So I'm going to use 6, and then I can page over for the slash, go back and get the 14, and a slash, and then put in the year. Now you can be as creative as you want and put in whatever lettering, the dates, anything that you'd like for your quilt label to resemble. And then once I'm ready, touch OK, bring this down. Now the last thing I get to do on this is all the lettering is preset to come in as black. I'm going to change the colors so that each of these lines are different colors. I'm going to start with my scallops up here. I have the top one selected. I'm going to go into the colors right here, the little rainbow, and the top of that is going to be green, and OK. I'm going to come down here and get the other one, and OK. Summertime is going to be sort of an orangey yellow, so I'm going to we'll pick this orange here. I have to go get the S, and you can see it changes in the window. Fun is the same color as summertime. There we go. And then down here, these two lines are going to be red. There we go. Now all my items are colored except for my tulips. Let's get the tulips. They're going to be purple. I'm going to give it one good look over to see if I need to move anything around. If I like it where it is, at this point I could say OK and send it to my ready to sew screen, or I could do a little bit of organizing the stitch out here and combining those colors so we don't have so much flipping around of changing threads. And I would save it once I get to that point. So what I want to do is first go to the tab that says 1, 2, 3, and I want to touch the first thing that I would like to stitch. So I'd like the ladybug to stitch first, and then I'm going to have, because that has red in it, I'm going to pick these two lines here. These are a second and third. Then I'm going to have the orange stitch, the purple, the green, and then the butterfly. Then I can go to my color grouping here. It's the 4 spools over 2, page through. It's joining those parts together of matching colors. And now I have 10 colors to stitch instead of having it jump all over and giving me more color changes. At this point, I'm ready to stitch, and this is what it looks like when it gets stitched out.